I joined the parachute regiment in 2007. It's the spearhead of the British Army. So, you know, like we've got an important role. It's an elite fighting regiment, and it's a very proud regiment. My sister said to me, we was talking about the army. I can't remember exactly what it was, but she said she mentioned about these guys dressed in black outfits and ski masks, and they were going through the window, and it was I can't remember, 1970, and it was Maggie Thatcher. She sent the SAS into this embassy to, you know, there was British hostages, and yeah, and it was just it was the first time the SAS had ever been public, like put in the public. And so I'd sort of like done a bit of research around these guys, and I was like, wow, this is what I wanted to do. I think I found my calling in life to head to that. And it was rough stuff. My first ever patrol, straight away we were under attack. We was in like an ambush, and it was really heavy on, and we lost a couple of guys straight away. Sean, like, I saw death, like, and we had the sergeant. I remember asking, like, we was trying to navigate, you know, the battlefield. That's what we do. That's what we're trained to do, and we do it at a very high level. And it's everyone was trying to navigate what had happened, because for a lot of guys as well, it was their first contact engagement with the, you know, these people. The Taliban were out there. They live their life in war. They've got war in their blood. You know, we've got guys, young guys like myself, that are just go through training. You know, we do trauma-based training in the British Army, and we try and replicate the real thing as much as possible, as best as what we can, to get us ready, prepare us for the real situation. And so everyone was trying to navigate it, and I remember I was looking over and blokes was falling down, and everyone was scattered because, you know, we're trying to get into cover. And then I remember hearing over the radio the sergeant say, "Everyone get some fucking airborne aggression about you." And then I looked over, and everyone remembered who they were, and the professionalism of the men. Everyone started doing everything, and we were navigating the battlefield. And it was it's a beautiful feeling, you know. And don't get me wrong, it's not very nice. It's not nice at all, because, Sean, when you've got people that are trying to kill you in the most horrific ways, and you have to do that, and you have to put up with that daily, it does affect you. And I said this recently as well, like, I'd done this voluntary, so and I don't regret it. I don't regret it. It was like early sort of morning, and I just felt this round hit me, and it was, I don't even today have the words in my, like, to explain how painful it was, or what the feelings, what I was experiencing. It was initially I went up. When it happened, I went up in the air, and, like, in my head when I landed, like, and it was like I was trying to navigate what had just happened to me, and I initially thought I'd stepped on an IED. IED is an improvised explosive device, very well known for the enemy to use. It's like a silent warrior, and they're very effective. And I've seen it. Like, I've seen people step on them. I've been affected by a backblast of them, and they are very dangerous. And so that's what I initially thought had happened, because I got knocked up, and when I realised that it wasn't an IED, and when I landed, like, I didn't feel anything, because my body, because a high velocity round, you know, it's breaking the sound barrier. And when it hit me, it done something, and my brain and my body couldn't acknowledge it, and it doesn't register. And then it happens, and your body's like, what? And all of a sudden, this pain, burning, it was excruciating. Like, you know, they were still trying to pick me off. The rounds were going everywhere. We were still trying to. Whenever you get ambushed, you've got to win the battle. You know, you've got to try and control it. And how you control the battlefield is by winning it. So, you know, I remember one of the section commanders, and he was my friend. He's a good friend, and I can't say his name because what he does now for a living, but he saved my life. And if he does ever watch this, he's a little Welshman, and he's got the best moustache in the world, and I think he's still got it. And he saved my life. You know, he come out, he risked his own life to come out in the open when the firefight was still happening, to get me and drag me into an irrigation ditch. I was just taken back by it. That's brotherhood, you know. I'm really grateful. Yeah, so basically, I'm just thinking about staying alive, and I'm sort of thinking at the time, praying that I'm not going to die, and you know, because as mad as what it sounds, and as crazy as what it sounds, everyone that joins the army never thinks that it's going to happen to them, like getting injured or paying the ultimate sacrifice, which is obviously your life. No one ever thinks it's going to happen, and it's only a matter of time before you keep going back to like a place like Afghanistan or any other place in the world where there's a lot of heavy conflicts and heavy war fighting before something really bad happens. And for me that day, something bad really did happen. So yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I remember sort of drifting off, and I don't know, like, yeah, I didn't think, yeah, I was just, like I said, I was at the mercy of the other guys. So they were encouraging me, and when they cut the body armor off the ground medics just before the heli come in to get me, like the medics were like, we can't find an exit wound. And they were like, I remember seeing sort of like glimpsing over, and I saw like confusion and a bit of like fear or worry in the medic's face when he was trying to describe what was going on to the other guy. And like, so that made me panic a little bit more. But you know, like, I'm just there. I'm just at the mercy of everyone. And yeah. You do. There are moments when you're in heavy engagement, and there are moments, just little moments, where you have reflection, and you do think, there is a moment where you like, this is scary. Like, I don't want to die. Oh wow! Like, I was really blown away that you want to bring like a lot of awareness around the guys that go through that internal war and physical war. I think nobody really tells a soldier when they sign in up to His or Her Majesty's army, and that's whatever army across the world. Nobody really tells you that you're actually ultimately signing up for two wars. You got the physical war, and then you got the war that goes on internally. There's a beautiful saying that I picked up along my journey in life, and it's okay to look back, just don't stare. So I felt like my hand was forced, and I'm glad. I don't regret it, and like I said, I'm going to roll with it. But it's also bringing up a lot of stuff that I tried to leave in my past. You know, and I'm proud. I'm a proud soldier. I'm a proud man. I'm a proud veteran. But when you constantly have to stare at your past, it's not good for your mind. I'm going to say this because this is who I am now, Sean, and I am at the other end of my internal war, I truly believe. And the only reason how I did get there is I've got to give credit where credit's due. I've tried doctors, I've tried psychiatrists, I've tried medication. Yeah, they all work. But the only one thing that truly, truly works is when you accept God into your life and Jesus Christ as your Lord and Saviour. You'll get so much internal peace from that. To understand, when you put in like intense situations like that, and I've been in them situations multiple times, survival mode is only supposed to be short term. It's not supposed to be permanent. And I think when your brain does that, and you start having to live a life in a permanent state of survival mode, it does damage, like real internal damage to your mind, your thought process, the way you behave, your acts. I think I would just like to say, if anyone is out there and they are suffering, and this is more for the loved ones that are living with and having to deal with veterans still serving or after their service that are struggling, please try and take a bit of time to, have a bit of reflection on what that individual has gone through. And I would just like to say as well, I spoke to a lot of veterans recently and they're ashamed to go and ask for help because they might not have done an operational tour. And I think that's so sad, because if you look up the British Army, like why we're one of the best armies in the world is because we do amazing training, and part of that training regime is trauma-based training. So there's guys that have been on ops that have got PTSD, and some guys don't get it, and some guys that haven't been on ops and don't realise why they are suffering, and they think, oh, I don't know I'm weak, I haven't been on tours, how can I be suffering? And the fact of the matter is, the trauma-based training, not many guys know that. So, if you're out there and you haven't been on ops, and you are struggling, it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't mean anything. We're all humans and we all act the same way, and just seek help. Go and get help immediately.